you know what? It was a fantastic game of rugby. It was a privilege to be at the stadium, and the Irish support that came over or were already in Rome. Like, I think there was 54,000 or something was read out on the tannoy. At least half of those were Irish. The whole place was just covered in green. And I think if you listen to any of the post-match interviews or Andy Farrell talking, or flicking through the social media channels as we all do, it was about how good the Irish support was over in Rome. I haven't seen anything quite like it, to be honest, and it was brilliant to be a part of it. And the first half delivered probably, I'd say, the best first half of rugby that we've seen so far in the championship. And that's because there were mistakes from both sides. There was missed tackles. There was lots of line breaks. It was played at such a ferocious pace. All I can say is thank God I'm retired, long retired, and not playing, because that was real intensity. And excuse me, fair play to the Irish lads for hanging in there. That intercept try just on the halftime hooter sort of give the Italians a bit of belief, didn't it? And then they come out second half and really get stuck in. And yes, the game was a lot tighter, but I've said this to everybody that I've met who have started to pour cold water on the Irish fire and say that, oh yeah, it was a bit nip and tuck at times. Well, hold on a second here. We dropped 3 balls over the line. Like, Ross Byrne on form knocks the conversions over. That's 21 points. We throw a silly interception. That's another 7 points. Were Ireland 28 points better than Italy? I don't think they were, but I certainly think that they were 14 points better. And that's obviously what the final margin was. So, yes, of course, everybody got a little nervous, didn't they, in that third quarter of the game, because it did tighten up. However, Ireland thoroughly deserved to win. They played the better rugby, and they can take a lot of things out of it, a lot of work-ons out of it, and that will hopefully make them a better side when they face Scotland next weekend. 2 years ago, we were having conversations about the lack of Ireland depth and where do they go when they reach a Rugby World Cup, when they maybe have 2 or 3 injuries. Well, this is the scenario that is probably going to raise its head in a Rugby World Cup, where you have a number of injuries to key players, and you're going to have to call upon and rely on maybe guys with less experience. Finlay Bealham, how innocuous an injury was that? Spinning around at the back of the line out to pop the ball up for a move to attack the back seam of the line out, and I think it's his MCL that he's unfortunately tweaked, so he's going to be out. But you call on a British and Irish line, tight head prop and Tadhg Furlong. I know he hasn't played that much rugby, but I'm not even sure if he's ever lost to Scotland, so I must look that up. So it's a good guy to bring in. Johnny Sexton, hopefully he'll be fit. Gary Ringrose, we've seen him in the team hotel. He travelled over with the side. He didn't have like a tweak. He just had a bit of tightness in his calf. So what's the point in risking him? It's good to get Bundy Aki time in that Italy game, albeit he was playing out of position. Robbie Henshaw, he could probably get onto the bench and maybe get 20 minutes at the end of the Scotland game as well. Or he might be playing for Leinster this weekend to get a bit more game time. So yeah, it's great that we can call upon all these guys to come back in and if anything, strengthen the Ireland squad rather than weaken it.